Welcome to my garden. This is a garden tour for the last day of September 23. I'm in zone 5-1. We should have our first frost very soon, probably in a week, 2, 3, I don't know. We are having a late fall or late summer this year, so it's 90 degrees today, which is so weird. But I'm still getting stuff from the garden. The zinnias are happy. There's still some monarchs, and I'm getting a lot of beans. This particular variety, I like it because it's purple, so you can see it very clearly. It is productive, but not as productive as other varieties, but again, the color helps. This is called the purple blowhild. I think that's how it's spelled, Blauhilde, and it's an heirloom variety. The nice thing about it, I can collect seeds, and after it blooms the first time, even if I don't collect all the beans, it keeps producing, so that is nice. I have the lunchbox peppers here, and the strawberries are still producing, although on this side they're not producing as much because they are getting more shaded by the tree and by those fig trees. This is Chicago hardy fig. It grew really tall this year. It dies to the ground every year, and then it comes back because it's cold for it here, but it has been producing. You can see here is one, and they turn purple, but I don't think the season is long enough for it to ripen, so usually we get like 4 every year, 4 figs. I don't think this is really efficient use of space, so I'm thinking next year of just removing these two and planting some kind of fruit tree here that benefits from the southern sun. Here I have a few tomatoes that are also struggling because of the soil and because of again the shade, and again with the purple bean. These are cherry ground cherries, and you can see they're not very happy again because of the shade, and it's at the end of the season, but they are let me find one. They look like this, and when they drop to the ground, you can peel and eat them, peel the husk and eat them, and they taste like a cross between cherry tomatoes and pineapple, because they're pineapple cherry. That's the variety. And then they don't grow very tall. That's it, just like about 2 feet wide and tall, and they're easy maintenance. In here in the tomato bed, I have my sheet here so that I can tell you what varieties I grew this year. So I have the early girl that is still producing. It's kind of medium size, and it produces a lot, although the taste is average. Better than store-bought, of course, but very similar. And then what we liked a lot this year was this one, and it is Better Boy. It does not produce as much, but it tastes better and it grows big. It kind of looks a little bit like heirloom tomatoes, so, but it got sicker before the other ones. You can see there's some disease here. This is Celebrity. Also did not grow as tall. I think the early tomato is the one that grew the most, and probably this one was a bit shaded. Celebrity. It was big, so it grew big, and it tastes better than Early Girl, but not as good as Better Boy. Another Early Girl here. You can see it's ripening. They slow down now toward the end of the season. And then this is the red one here. It's weird. It was supposed to be creme, which is heirloom that I collected the seeds for, but probably it cross-pollinated with another tomato, so it is very small, um, like a 2 ounce one. So that is weird. Another variety that I loved, not is, let me show you. This is the Brandywine. Um, see here, it's huge, and I think it's the best tasting tomato that I've ever tasted. It's very balanced between not sour but also not too sweet, and the texture is meaty, doesn't have a lot of seeds. It's really perfect. And then here, of course, I can't go without doing the sun gold, which is yellow and or orange, and it tastes so sweet. In here I have stevia, I think, but it got shaded, so it did not produce very well. And of course I have lemon balm everywhere because we love to have lemon balm tea. And then I interplant with basil. This is tower basil, which is very trusty. It grows like this. It doesn't spread in width, but it grows tall, and it tastes like real basil. I tried lettuce basil this year. I can't find it here. It probably died, but it's really different. I don't know. It has more like anise to it, hints. So it's different than what we usually have, and I really like that difference. This is parsley. That's Italian parsley, and it's an heirloom variety, so I've been collecting seeds, and it's really good and tastes a very strong parsley flavor. I got it from forgot what it is, Creek Heirloom Seeds, rareseeds.com. Yes. Here I have cucumber. This is spring cucumber, just a hybrid. I don't really care for it, but I had seeds left over. But it's nice because I staggered, so I planted this in the middle of summer, and that's why we still have more cucumber while the others are dying. This is a very interesting variety of tomatoes that I planted this year. It's called Bumblebee, I think purple bumblebee, and it looks like this when it's green, and then it kind of turns reddish eventually, or reddish purplish. It's very, very productive. One plant gave us, I don't know how many buckets, probably 2 buckets of tomato this year. So one plant was really good, and it spread everywhere. That's the plant, and it went over there. So really good variety. I'm collecting seeds and planting it again. Things got shaded here, and this is the big cucumber of the year. I'm planting this definitely next year. This fed us the whole summer and the whole neighborhood and friends, and it keeps producing, although it's dying now. But it grows very, very tall, so it sprouts everywhere. Probably, I don't know, 20 feet tall, long. This is Japanese burpless variety. I think sweet Japanese, sweet sliced Japanese. This one here, and you can see it is growing everywhere. Oh, even on the tree. Yep, it's growing on the pine, the white pine tree, and down below, really everywhere. Here I had the bait alpha, and they usually cucumbers, and they usually get diseased very quickly. They're heirloom. Now, what keeps producing now up until the end, probably October or beginning of November, depending on the frost, are chard. The green one is perpetual spinach chard. It is amazing because it doesn't taste very chardy, but it produces a lot, and you can use it in everything. Omelets, stews, really pasta, any dish, you could just add it to it. This is the grape bed, and this was Somerset grape. It's first year producing, and it produced a ton. I think 10 pounds or more, and they're really tasty. Somerset grape, they're red and almost seedless, and they have hints of other like tropical fruit. I'm not sure what, but they store well. They've been in the refrigerator for a month and we're still eating them, so really nice. This is the volunteer tomato that grew. We let it go. It's like a small cherry, a lot of seeds, but it's okay. It's volunteer. It's just free. And here we have that squash. This is the Rompicante heirloom Italian squash. It's the only one that I have because it only, if you don't pick them when they're young, it only produces just one. So I have that, and I'm not sure what to do with it, but we'll figure it out. Here, my cucumber trellis. The cucumbers are ending because they got disease, especially that from the cucumber beetles that I have. They've been so bad, but not as bad as last year. So I think they have the wilt. But I think I have a couple more here on this one. The Diva cucumbers here died except for one, and they are our favorite. They're sweet, they are crunchy, but not too crunchy as the other ones. They have really different texture. And I'll show you one in a minute. Here, this is the bean, the green bean trellis. It has been performing amazingly. I've been picking at least 1 pound a day, if not 2. I think 2, sometimes 2, sometimes 1, probably 2 for the last 2 weeks, because I did a second planting in the middle of July, and my first planting was not performing very well here. For some reason, the yellow Monte Gusto beans did not perform well, so I panicked and I just put all the the seeds that I have. I think these are Kentucky Wonder, of course, pole bean, and they took over the whole trellis and been picking them up like crazy. So it's gonna keep us fed for the whole summer and winter, because I've been freezing, and I'm gonna try to can green bean pickles. So that is a trellis. It's very nice to sit here in the shade and pick beans. These are the Chinese purple beans. I did not care for them. The noodle beans, I did not care for them a lot because, I mean, they taste good, have a specific flavor to them than the regular beans, but they attract wasps like crazy. Look at that. There are wasps everywhere, and they love they kind of produce some nectar here on the neck of the fruit, which kind of draws a lot of wasps, and they don't produce as much as the other varieties. So I don't think I'm gonna plant them again. I mean, they're nice, they're weird, different, but they're hard. Here, this is one of the Diva cucumbers. You see, it's completely hairless, but the taste is really what sets it apart. And finally, we can see the okra that is not performing well because it's in a shady spot. And then these are the strawberries, and they've been producing well because we got nice weather and we're getting long fall, so these are ever bearing and they're producing much better than before. So these are most of the varieties that I planted this year. The backyard is a mess because I am planting new part of the garden with new beds. The other part, the other older beds, they've been getting more and more shaded by the maple tree, and I think it's gonna even grow bigger. So I'm not gonna cut it, but I will create a new part of a new section with garden beds. So I will probably have more videos where I talk about that, but that is all for today. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you maybe in another video this summer. Bye-bye.